whether it's possible to make several shots maybe through the office? Appsflyer has been growing really fast for last years. Do you know exact number of employees working today in the company?
Yeah, 344, something like that.
How many employees do you know personally?
I'm trying to know everybody. I'm still. First of all, I'm interviewing all the new hires, so I know everybody in person. Everybody is kind of surprised when I'm saying that I'm interviewing everybody, but I do recommend for all entrepreneurs and CEOs to keep interviewing everybody, because there's so much value in meeting great people. Right now, I trust the entire company to basically hire great people. So even for me to speak with great people is a good experience. And there's so much value in speaking with the candidates even before they start to being an employee. And they appreciate that so much, they learn so much. I get to know them, so I don't see like unfamiliar faces in the office. I want to be approachable. If they want to talk about anything, if they want to talk about the strategy of the company, if they want to talk about the product or specific markets and stuff like that.
How does it feel to manage such a big company? Is it exciting, or do you feel some pressure sometimes, some, I don't know, responsibility?
In terms of my personal challenges, the challenges changed. Is it more difficult for me today than it was 3 years ago? No, it's not more difficult for me than it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I think that these challenges are different challenges.
Okay, what's the three main differences?
So if let's go back, let's say 4 years ago, all right? We had very little funding. I had
7 million.
You have got good memory. So let's say before.
Well, let's say, actually not so little.
So 4 years ago I said, yeah, four and something before the 7 million round. So we raised $500,000.
Okay.
2012, and I managed one Excel file. The Excel file, the bottom line there was time to live. How much money do we have left to run the company?
Okay.
And at the beginning it was several months, and then we hired people, and then it was 6 months, 5 months, 4 months to live. It means that you have enough money to run the company for 4 months.
So much pressure.
Is it more pressure than today or not?
You can tell me.
It's different. Right? Because over there you say, okay, if we're not raising more money, or if we are not changing something, we need to shut down the company in 4 months.
How many months can you live now with your last 56 million investments and then 340 employees?
Now it's a different play. Now it's we need to decide whether and how fast we want to grow, right? Okay. So you can control it. You have a lot of clients, they're paying for the service. At the beginning, we had clients, but we didn't have revenue streams. So the cash flow was only one direction, from the company to employees and vendors and everything else.
Speaking about investments, so yeah, you've raised 56 million in round C. Before you raised 20 in round B and 7 million in round A.
Yeah.
Can you say which round was the most difficult one?
The first one that you didn't mention. So the seed round was, it's not mentioned in Crunchbase, and this is where probably you're taking it from. The seed round was $500,000. That was in 2012. And
it was the most difficult.
It was the most difficult one.
Right.
Because we were two guys working on some new technology, and we've been walking around and talking with investors about what we're doing, and why we think it's really, really important, and they didn't get it. I mean, everybody said no, 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 and I can tell you that probably we've been talking with a lot of investors here in Israel and Tel Aviv. But by the way, I want to get, it's really interesting question. So at the beginning, it was really difficult because you don't have any justification from the market, right? And investors need to trust your story, trust your knowledge, and they don't have any validation from the market. And in a way, they need to gamble. And once you move on, the investors have more evidence that what you're doing is helping other companies.
Yeah.
And then A round was easier. The B round, we have a bunch of investors coming to us. And in the last round, we have many, many, many investors that wanted to invest in the company, and we were not in the round. It means that, and they got to know us by their portfolio companies. Usually investors invest in other companies. They ask them about the tools and stuff like that, and they got to know the company and the product even before we talked with them. So they were really interested in what we're doing even before we talked with them.
Do you have plans to make Appsflyer a profitable company in the future?
So first of all, it's a cash flow positive business right now. In terms of profitability, this is our decision whether we want to make it profitable or not. The vast majority of the company is working on future products.
Okay.
Now, if we want to be profitable,
You just cut all this.
we don't need this, right? So we can get profitable. We can maybe, instead of 100 engineers, software engineers, we can have 20 just to maintain whatever we have. And that's it. We're saving a lot of money. Immediately, we're becoming so profitable. But it's a short term. We're not here for the short term. We are now very successful because, you know why? Because we always invested in the product.
What is the future? 5 years, 10 years, when you, for example, Amazon was not profitable for, I don't know, 20 years?
This is the culture of Amazon, that they invest all their revenues in new business. This is the culture of the company. This is the culture of Jeff Bezos. And everything is invested in new businesses. And we have the same belief.
Appsflyer has 13 offices at the moment.
Yes.
Israel, US, China, Germany, UK, Thailand, Japan, Korea, Ukraine, Argentina, and Brazil. Correct?
Yes.
It was one mistake. No, I'm joking.
What?
No, I'm joking. Which one was the most difficult to open?
I don't know. You know, it's in the end, it's not about the country. It's about individuals. Okay. If you have great team or a great individual to kick off and lead an office, it's easy.
How do you hire these individuals in different countries?
It's network, is getting to know people, is speaking with people, is building your network in the end of the day.
I think in our industry, China is one of the most challenging markets and one of the most difficult to enter, but looks like Appsflyer has big success there. Mm-hmm. How did you manage to do this?
First of all, product. Chinese clients, they know exactly what they're looking for. There's no bullshit there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, they tell you that it doesn't work and they demanding. I think it's a positive thing because they push you to the limit and to making your product even more robust and developing things that you didn't think that needed. They know exactly what they're doing, and we're very, very happy to start working with them in very, very early stage of the company. How it started, I don't know. There was a lot of demand coming from China. At the beginning, we didn't think that this is what's going to happen, but we've been trying to focus on all the other regions as well. And then we started to work with some of the largest Chinese companies over there, and we saw that they have an amazing team. Everybody knows English. They know exactly what they're doing. Great applications, great products. And I decided that these are the companies that we really want to work with.
What about Russian mobile market?
We love it.
You have very good team working on Russian market, but from Israel.
Yes.
Do you have some plans to open a physical office there?
First of all, we really love the Russian market in general. I think that few of our most important clients, and even the first sale, or the first real sale, was for quite big Russian gaming company. So for us, as a history of the company, we have a very, I would say, special thought when we are thinking about the Russian market, because for us it really started from the Russian market.
Were you surprised that Yandex Appmetrica has quite success? I mean, just offering the free product, and looks like a lot of companies, they use it because it's free.
I think that if you are using something that is free, you need to be very, very, very worried. If you look at our service, or any analytics service, or any service that you give away your clients' data, you need to be very, very worried. You need to ask the right questions. Let's start from the beginning. For software companies, B2C companies, or any company, there are a lot of assets, right? Cash, they have furniture, they have computers, and they have data.
Yeah.
Their clients' data. Data on their clients, what they're buying, what they like to buy, how much they spend. CRM data. You don't want to give that away to your competitor, because they're going to go one by one and take your clients. If this data is going to go to your competitor, they're going to go one by one and take your clients. If I know about my competitors' clients, how much they pay, what they're interested in, I'm just going to get a counter offer for them, and I'm just going to steal them away. Think about gaming companies. Maybe 1% is actually paying in-app purchases. Would you imagine giving this 1% of your users to your competitor, so they're going to spend with someone else because someone is giving you free product or free analytics product?
So you're telling me that if the tracking solution is free, it's probably giving away your data?
I'm saying that they need to take a very deep look at how the data is being treated. Usually when it's free, there is a reason why it's free. And if it's a premium software, there is a reason why it's premium software, because there is a cost. There is a cost here to build that, right? We're not building it because, I don't know, we have infinite amount of money and our investors would like to spend money, right? In the end of the day, it needs to make sense. And you have two options when you're dealing with data. A, monetize on the data. It's a legitimate business. This is how some businesses work.
Okay.
And some businesses are monetizing on service or software fees. We selected to be this independent. We selected to be unbiased. We chosen to basically protect your assets, protect your data, and make sure that you handle it right, and not giving it away to someone else to take over your clients. This is an invisible threat to any company.
I think the main buzzword of all the tracking systems, including Appsflyer, last year was fraud. What's your estimation of the fraudulent traffic share?
It's a good question, but it's a very difficult question to answer. I'll tell you why. What we see is our own ecosystem, the Appsflyer ecosystem. We fight fraud in basically two factors. One, technology. So we have technology, we have a lot of data, we have 60% market share, we see a lot of data, we see 30 billion mobile app events every day. We see something like 4 billion active devices, smartphone devices, 4 billion of them. This is a huge number. This is probably every single smartphone out there on the planet. We have a lot of data and we can analyze, and we analyze all this data all the time, and this is how we can detect fraud. This is the one component of our fraud protection. The second one is kind of a network effect. We're telling our partners, when it comes down to our clients, please make sure that you're not sending fraudulent traffic to our clients, because A, we're going to detect it. We will send you warnings to make sure that you are actually actively trying to remove fraud, because when everybody's doing fraud, there's like the prisoner dilemma, and I had a blog post about the prisoner dilemma and fraud, because in order to be competitive in the market, you need to do fraud, because if you're not doing fraud, or you're not, turning blind eye on fraud, your ROI numbers are not competitive, because someone else maybe is mixing it with fraud, and then the ROI looks great, and to compete it, you need to do something about it. But if we create an ecosystem that no one is doing fraud, and we create, for the first time, we actually create an environment, an ecosystem that everybody is incentivized to basically protect our clients. And
you believe in this?
Yes.
In such ecosystem? Or no?
We removed two partners that we have reasons to believe that not only that they didn't do enough to clean up fraud, we believe that these partners, we don't really call them partners, their main business was to make fraud. Then we just removed them from the platform, blocked their account, and that's it.
What do you think about Facebook and Google attribution models, when they kind of define the attribution by themselves? Do you think that it's not totally transparent to the market?
I think that there is misinformation. I think that the market is being fed by misinformation, and there's a lot of misinformation in the market. I think that sometimes when competitors do not compete on the value, they compete, then they say things about price and about this and about losing money and about losing money on accounts. That's all stories. And there is a new story about the self-attributing networks. We heard one of our competitors saying that they don't have multi-touch attribution because they're not getting all the data from Facebook and Google, all the self-reporting networks, by the way, self-reporting networks. But it's wrong. We and they are getting all the data that they need in order to do multi-touch attribution. We have multi-touch attribution for the last almost 3 years. You can define the look-back windows for both impression and click for all the networks, including the self-reporting networks. It's fully configurable, and our clients have that option to configure and do anything they want.
What do you think about retargeting perspectives?
Yeah, so first of all, we are big believers in retargeting and re-engagement. From a very, very early stage, we thought that the market will shift from volumes and installs into re-engagement and true engagement within the apps. It was slower than we anticipated or thought. It's going to be, but it's taking off, and we are very happy and excited about it. In terms of the product, we invested heavily in everything that is related to retargeting and re-engagement. For example, we have one link, deep linking, which is a critical component to perform retargeting on mobile. You want to land your client at a specific landing page, whether or not they have the application installed. That's one, which is deep linking. And then this year we released audience segmentation, that you can segment your users based on the first-party data and push these segments to different partners. to the retargeting and re-engagement. Definitely, we see that happening. I think that the segmentation product that we released this year is super successful. We have so many clients that working and using it. Probably this is one of the products that we released that being adopted super fast with our clients.
What do you personally focus on as a CEO? I mean, what are your daily tasks?
It's everything. It's everything. I can think about the product. I can think about the product strategy. I can think about the company structure. I can think about people. I interview people. I talk with the team. I talk with managers. I can go in deep on certain things, or talk, or be very, in 10,000 feet out there. I can think about specific markets, and I can think about so many things. It's like everything. If you ask me what's my main concerns when I'm doing all that, I think in the end of the day, for us, it's about execution. Execution is people, so we do care about our people, investing in them and growing them, culture. I think that maybe there's one thing that guides me in building this company is how we can make this company a company that all the employees are proud to be a part of, whether they are currently employed or if they look at the past. And how can we make this company that they will be very, very proud that they took a part of this journey? And this is a question that we have a lot of answers, and we're trying to implement the answers. But this is a question that I always ask myself, if we want to do something, yes or not. And think about it, it goes a very long way. So it also means that we need to have a really, really good product that people are proud of, right? And then it means a lot of other things.
Okay, and the last one. What is the main goal for Appsflyer for next year, 2018? One main goal?
To continue to win the market. It's very simple. First of all, we need to keep our current clients and partners happy with the platform and with the service. That's one thing. We want to make sure that everybody's happy, or they like Jeff Bezos said, they're always gonna make it. They want it faster and cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So clients will always want to have better platform and cheaper prices. We understand that, and we're trying to do that. This is our target for 2018. We hope that the volume level of the word fraud will decrease, because fraud will be decreasing, and we will hear more about the good stuff that this industry has to offer, like retargeting and re-engagement and everything that and everything that you can do with it. Because fear is not good for business. And if we remove fear with technology, companies and individuals will think about growth. And we'll not think about, I'm being ripped off or something like that. And I hope that 2018 will be that year.
Thank you, Oren. Thank you so much for coming.
Спасибо.